guys, welcome to my newest video for today. Today's video is going to be my weekly reviews for this past week, and basically this week I didn't get a whole lot of watching done like compared to like last week's viewing, but I still have a few things here to talk about, so I'm just gonna get straight into it. Hopefully this video won't be anywhere near as long as last week's video, but I've also decided that I'm going to include the movies I see at the cinema, because last week I didn't do that because I had plans to do like a monthly wrap up for cinema viewings, and I've just decided that it'll just be easier to include them in my weekly reviews. So starting from this week, I'll mention and talk about what movies that I've seen at the cinema. So so I'll just get straight into it. And first up, I've been really getting into Horrible Histories. I ended up finishing both season 2 and series 3, and I just absolutely love this show, because as I mentioned before, I'd seen the first 2 series, and then I thought I hadn't seen any of series 3, but then it turns out, because I started watching series 3 and I was like, a lot of this is actually quite familiar, and at least the first few episodes were. And then I checked my tracked TV, which is what I use to check into my shows and movies and things, and it turns out I'd watched the first 3 episodes of this series. So I was like, okay, so but so I was finally able to now watch the rest of series 3, and as I mentioned before, I just love this show. I think my favorite, or at least favorite new additions this series were Scary Stories, because he's basically like this, he's trying kind of like an Alfred Hitchcock style presenter, and he's like doing these scary, as the name suggests, scary stories, and then you've got all these sound effects and everything, and then he gets into the story, and then at the end it's totally anticlimactic, and it's not a scary story at all, and he's just just the antics. The guy who does the story that he pulled is just seriously, it's because some of the stuff he comes up is because one time he's like, I could have been at a movie premiere, he's like, I turned down a movie premiere for this, and he's then he's on it, I'm a serious actor, I don't have to take this. And also his arguments with the sound effects guys when they don't come in at the right moment. It's just hilarious, and it's one of my favorite, as I said, one of my favorite new segments. And also in series 3 there was the addition of Historical MasterChef, which I thought was just brilliant, because it's basically MasterChef, but it's as the name suggests, it has contestants from various different historical periods. But one of the things I find funny is I think all of them ended up going through to the next round. I mean, I don't watch MasterChef, so I have no idea if that's how it plays out, which I imagine there's usually some people who are eliminated eventually, but it was just hilarious. And especially the pirate one, because he's kind of am I through to the next round? And he starts saying, well, no, and then he pulls out a sword and he's like, actually, congratulations, you're through to the next round. So it's just things like that. And obviously this also, I still love Stupid Deaths, and also, what's the other one? Oh, and they also brought back the comic book style retelling. This was in series 3 of Philip II and Mary the Wedding, and it was done kind of like how they did it with the Fall of Troy, and that was another one that I really enjoyed. And also Victorian EastEnders, that that was just the whole different ones. Because I think one of my parents is the girl, she's been going to school, and the parents are like, well, why are we wasting all this money for you to go to school? And then he's they're sort of like, oh, you should be doing all of this, like, working up chimneys and things like that. And then the father works out how much the daughter would make if she became a teacher, and it's like more than what he would make. So, but yeah, I just love this show. It's like just how they like do like these like basically how they tell history, and then actually another thing that I love, it's like historical crime watch. That's another favorite, but I can't remember if that came in series 1 or was that series 2. But because it was like on the death of Julius Caesar. It was and because there's also this other one where he's kind of like a detective, and he's like coming around like one time he like there was a what was it? He's like in the Stone Ages, and a caveman had died, and he was trying to go through what was the cause of the death, and it's like, all these arrows and things like that, but it turned out they were just traditional like send-offs, and so there's that one. And also there's a lot of all these murders in Caligula's household, and he's trying to work out how they died, and it turned out Caligula, I can't pronounce the word, Caligula had actually killed them himself. So it's just but I love Caligula. I cannot pronounce this, Caligula. I just love the character on this. Well, I know he's obviously based on the real person, like the real emperor, but I think when they do like the Rotten Roman sketches, he's one of my favorite recurring ones. So but yeah, no, it's just I just love horrible histories, and I can't wait to continue with the rest of the series, because I've got like at least 2 full series remaining, and also the specials, because I think after series 5 then I think I read that they weren't going to continue doing a proper full series, so I guess we'll see. So but so they were the 2 of the shows that I watched this past week. And also I watched I finally finished Doctor Who series 2. It's taken me a bit to actually finish the season, not because it's bad, but just because I've had a lot of stuff going on, and these past couple of months, and just my TV time has been like watching has been at least in regards to finishing shows that I've started, it's been a bit behind. And so I do want to try and rewatch like the modern Doctor Who before series 9 comes back. I don't know if I will get to that, but I'm going to do my best to try and rewatch everything. But I know because I don't know if I've said it, but because overall I think series 2 is not one of my favorite seasons overall, because I think I don't know, it's kind of weird, because I find, even though it does, I will say series 2 does have one of my favorite episodes in Doctor Who, which is School Reunion, but I find, I don't know, there's a lot of episodes in the season that I really don't care for, even though they do grow on me as I watch them. But I don't know, I feel like this season in particular is full of like ups and downs. Like you sort of got a relatively strong like beginning, because you've got episodes like School Reunion and Girl in the Fireplace, and I also find that the 2-parters in the season were particularly really well, like also because you got Rise of the Cybermen, Age of Steel, but then and like also Impossible Planet. I can't remember what the 3rd part was to that story. The 2nd part was to that story. But yeah, but it's just, and also like the last 2, like Army of Ghosts and Doomsday, like the 2-parters in this season are really well done. But then the standalone episodes after it, like Idiot's Lantern, Love and Monsters, Fear Her, it's just sort of, I guess, the episodes are not so good. Like, yeah, they're like nowhere, like, I mean, they're okay to watch just like once if you're rewatching this show, but they're not episodes I would necessarily go and pick out to watch if I wanted to watch another episode, like a random episode of Doctor Who. But yeah, no, but overall I was actually surprised by how much I was enjoying season 2 more this time around, because normally when I get to this point, because I love series 1, and then get to series 2 and I'm like, because I think I'm just sort of reminded like how many episodes in there that I just don't really care for, and I'm just like, I don't want to watch these episodes, but then I finally get to them and they're like, actually they're not as bad as what I thought they were, so but no, I finally finished watching Doctor Who series 2, and then just going on to the one movie that I watched like this past week, and that was Matrix Revolution. So I've now finally seen the Matrix trilogy. It's taken me a while to watch it. Overall, I didn't mind Revolutions, because I think I've heard a lot of people that don't really care for this particular installment. I thought it was a fine conclusion to the trilogy, even though it is, I will have to say, it isn't one of my particular favourites. I do actually think that might be Reloaded, which might be controversial. I don't know, because I feel it's like everyone like loves the Matrix, like it's their favourite one, and then it goes like Reloaded and then Revolutions, like it goes in the order that they were released in. But then I'm just kind of like, I really loved Reloaded. I was surprised by how much I loved it, and then I think it's my favourite out of the trilogy, so but overall I just love the Matrix films, and yeah, I'm glad that I've now finally seen, all 3 films, and I know what everyone's talking about now when they say how great these films are, so and I think, what did I give Matrix? I think Matrix Revolutions is probably a 7.5 out of 10, if I remember. I think that's what I gave it, because I think it's a little bit lower than, because I think I gave Reloaded an 8.5 out of 10. I'd probably give The Matrix an 8.5 as well, but Reloaded I like a little more than The Matrix, so, and then yeah, but Matrix Revolutions is not, I wouldn't, it's an enjoyable film, and it's like, it's definitely like, it's a lot of action, the fight scenes, especially the battle scenes in this were really well done, I thought, so, but that's, Matrix Revolutions. And then the 2 films that I saw at the cinema this past week, the first one was Mission Impossible 5 Rogue Nation, which I loved. I had such a fun time watching this film. I think it may be the best one out of the Mission Impossible films. I just think I liked it even more than Ghost Protocol, and I loved Ghost Protocol. It's just, there's the right, for me, Rogue Nation just had the right blend of everything. Like, there was action, there was suspense, there was there was just the right amount of humor. There was drama. It was everything. And I will have to say I did like Simon Pegg in this film. It's like, I really liked because it was sort of like him and Tom Cruise, like their characters working together for most of the film, so I really did like that aspect, because it's been a while since I've seen Ghost Protocol, because I don't think they, I'm just trying to remember what, I might have to rewatch Ghost Protocol, because I don't actually remember much of the, I remember parts of the story, but just not. So I think he's Benji was like more prominent in the film, but this one he was like more like he had there's a lot his character got a lot of screen time in this film, and that was fine by me because I love Simon Pegg. So, and yeah, and he, yeah, I just loved everyone in this film. Like, even Alec Baldwin surprised me, and he's usually someone like I can either take or leave, and yeah, because I thought he worked really well with Jeremy Renner, who I liked in this one, because he was sort of like, what is it? It's more, I'd say more deadpan, like with his delivery, and yeah, it was just how he like with his whole I can neither confirm nor deny these, the events of the what was happening, and also when him and Rhimes' character, is that the name of the actor? Rhimes. Like when his character came back, because I really, I just enjoyed the team ups, like how they spread out the characters, and even though I would have probably liked to have seen more of Jeremy Renner's character, but I think he may have been filming Avengers Age of Ultron at that, like when this film was being done, so that would probably explain like some scenes where you feel like his character would be there but then it's not, so I suppose it had to work around his schedule. But no, I just loved everything about Rogue Nation. I loved Rebecca Ferguson. I thought she was fantastic as the femme fatale, and she worked really well with Tom Cruise. But I will also, because I think some people have mentioned it, that I did appreciate that it didn't become like a love interest story, because you thought it would have been so easy for them to go in that direction, and it didn't. And I was actually quite appreciative that they did it, like, they had a strong female character and they didn't make her a love interest. So I thought that was really good, because Rebecca Ferguson's character, I think, pretty much stole the show. It was just I just loved her character story, and like you could believe her, like just her motives, and you weren't sure what side she was working for, and like there was like I felt it had a good amount of twists and turns, and I loved everything about the Morocco when they went to Morocco, that whole like the car chase and everything, because it was just, I just loved it. It was it was a great, summer blockbuster film, and even though it does feel a bit weird saying summer blockbuster, because in Australia it's winter, so, but you get what I mean. It's it was everything I wanted in a Mission Impossible film, and I ended up giving it an 8.5 out of 10. Then the other movie that I saw at the cinema is not so much of a movie, but it was a special screening, and it was the English Opera's production of The Pirates of Penzance, directed by Mike Leigh, and I loved it, which just should be of no surprise to anyone, because you all know that I'm a massive Gilbert and Sullivan fan, and I especially love The Pirates of Penzance because it's got a special place in my heart, because I've loved it ever since I was like 16, and I played Ruth in a production of Pirates of Penzance, and I just loved it. And it was quite there's some parts there, like especially like the direction, I thought it was done really well, and if memory serves me, because I actually think they had Mabel as being part of the like the sisters chorus, which is, I've never really seen that done before, because normally you've got like Mabel who like enters off stage, and it's like, yes, this is Mabel, and then but when they were like, he was like, oh, is there not one maiden breast, and he's going, oh, not one, and then they're like, no, not one, and then they're going through that bit, and then she goes, yes, one, and she raises her hand in the crowd. So I'm like, I was kind of like, has she been there the whole time, or is it she just sort of randomly appeared? So I'd have to probably rewatch it again just to keep an eye out, see if she's always in that particular, like with the crowd. But no, I just loved seeing Pirates of Penzance, especially on screen. Even though it was kind of weird because I think I was like the youngest person in the audience because I think everyone was like, 50 plus, and I was like, here I am at like 28 and I'm sitting in a Gilbert and Sullivan screening. So, but no, I just love this production, and I gave it a 10 out of 10 just because it was, it's Gilbert and Sullivan, and I thought everyone did a really good job. In the show. To be honest, I'm not really familiar with any of the names, so I couldn't tell you who I liked, but they were all great, and yeah, so I was excited to see a production of Pirates of Penzance. So yeah, it was awesome. And one of these days I have to actually get to an opera, like an actual production of the Pirates of Penzance, and watch it, because yeah, I've got all these different recordings of it, but I've never actually been in the audience watching it. So yeah, one of these days I have to do that. But we'll see what happens. So but yeah, so that is everything that I've watched in this past week. Yeah, as I said, not a whole lot. I've mostly been focusing on my TV watching, and I've also, because as evidenced by marathoning Horrible Histories, so yeah, but hopefully next week's reviews there'll be a little bit more like stuff that I've watched in it. So, but I guess we'll see this time next week. So thank you guys for watching, and until my next video, I will see you guys next time. Bye!